Hi, I'm Kristen of White Arrows Home. Thank you so much for coming to visit Camp Paradise, our lakeside log cabin home in the North Woods of Wisconsin. I'd love coming on and sharing with you the vintage finds from each month. So things that I have thrifted, things that I have found at a vintage market or an antique shop locally or out on an adventure with friends. So I love to stop sometimes during the week at one of our local great shops. This is a wonderful area to come up and do a thrifting and antique girls weekend. I highly recommend coming up to the North Woods, to the Minocqua area to find some great treasures. And I love to go out and visit other areas as well. And also stop in our little local shops. So I might be driving around one day and just stop and do a little walkthrough and see what I find. So here are the things that I found in the last month as I've been out and about. One thing I know you're going to ask me is about my necklace. I love to look through the thrifted, the things that have been donated, the things that are in the antique shops, all the earrings, the bracelets, the brooches, the necklaces. I love all of it. I love collecting it. This one is actually from my grandmother. So when she passed away, all of her jewelry, most of it just costume jewelry, was given out to all the granddaughters and great-granddaughters. So I was so excited to get some of them because she was such a classy dresser and accessorizer. So I love wearing some of her pieces. So this was one of them. And then I actually have on some earrings. They're little clip-on costume jewelry earrings. One of my friends gifted them to me this week. We love to leave little gifts on each other's desks. She's one of my coworkers. When we see things that make us think of each other, it's just a really sweet thing. And the other day she was out and she saw these little clip-on earrings. So the one thing with clip-ons, I love how they look. I love the memory of putting them on at my grandmother's house. Both my grandmothers had clip-on earrings and I loved getting to play dress up in them all the time. But I do take them off once in a while during the day because they can start to get a little uncomfortable. Or sometimes I'll just put them on as I go in to a meeting or to my Bible study and then I'll take them off for a little while. But I just love the way they look. And part of the reason I'm bringing that up is because I got another pair this week. So, my friend, again, we were out thrifting and shopping together and she picked out a pair for herself. These were just $1. So she's like, I'm getting another pair for you too. So she got these cute pink ones that are so bobbly. So not only would I wear these maybe at Valentine's Day or for a holiday party, but to just throw on and add a little color. Like today I have on all black. So by adding just a little bit of blue, or it could be just a little bit of pink, it just adds a little bit of a pop of color to what I'm wearing. So I love peeking at the vintage earrings and brooches. Like I said, all those pieces are so fun to look for. Another thing I've done with clip-on earrings is I have several thrifted button-downs that are buttoned at the collar. And sometimes I don't want them buttoned at the collar. I want them to be open so they could go over my jacket or over a sweater, and I want the collar to be open. And so sometimes I will use my clip-on earrings to almost be little buttonhole protectors. So I will put those in, and I've also used them as cufflinks. So a shirt that might have a cuff, I've used them as cufflinks, and I've also used them through the buttonholes of some of my shirts. So picture a white button-down shirt with these in the buttonholes. It's just really a striking look, and it's really beautiful. So I was excited to get another pair to add to my collection. So my friend also picked out another thing. So sometimes we just happen to add something into each other's piles as we're walking out that we've paid for. So as a compliment, she said, to my hostessing and entertaining, she saw this Betty Crocker hostess cookbook that we had never seen before. And I love vintage cookbooks and especially vintage entertaining books. So I love doing a read aloud from vintage entertaining books for you guys. So you can always tune in to my read alouds as well as I share how they used to do things, what ways we're glad we don't do it anymore, and what ways we're like, we should pick up that little tip or trick. So you can tune in to my read alouds. As a former teacher, I love still reading aloud. I loved reading to my students. I loved reading to my own children. I published a book and I loved doing the audiobook reading for that book. And now I love reading aloud to you guys. So tune in, check those out. My little hostess reading, vintage read alouds. So this might be one that I can add to it. So I have to still look through it a little bit and see what is in here. But we were just captivated. Number one, it was a Betty Crocker we hadn't seen before. And also by the color of the book. I mean, the color and the cover just grabs your attention right away. And then look at that like Brady Bunch house on the front of it. So you can already tell like when it's from. It's just super cool. And here's the back. And it's got that great leave open spine. So I keep some of my vintage cookbooks on my kitchen counter, kind of there next to my knife block, and I love seeing them there. I actually love cookbooks more just for reading them and planning out meals than often even just cooking with them. I love reading cookbooks and collecting them. So I was so excited to add this one that I'd never seen before. So it was another sweet gift. Just look at the front, you know, just to sit down and sit and read it like it's a chapter book when I turn right to that page. So super fun ideas in here. Some things that we think we've invented ourselves nowadays, and we look back and we're like, oh, look, they were doing creative things back then too. Let me see if I can find when it was from. There's so many great pictures in here. There's so many great handbook ideas. So I'll see if I can find the year. You know what, I think it says 67, but I'm gonna need my little helpers here to see, and that might not even help because it is so small. Yep, 1967. Look how small that is. No wonder I needed these on. So the Hostess Cookbook from 1967 is for sure a favorite from this month. Now you may have tuned in to other episodes where I've shown cameras, vintage cameras I've collected, vintage little radios, all kinds of things like that I love to spread throughout vignettes when I'm decorating. And this is gonna be a favorite. So I collect vintage cameras because I love the nostalgia of them. I love them in doing them in groups, because I think when you put vintage items in groups, it just becomes a work of art. So I do that with snowshoes, I do that with cameras, so many different things. And I also love these like on a bookshelf next to some picture frames, on little ledges. Vintage cameras are just one of my favorite things. And when I saw this red one, I just about melted. I could not believe it. It was so cute. I love that it has the little handle on it. Look at the little knob. It is just so sweet. The front of it, the size of it, like I said, the little handle, it'll sit so cute on the shelf. And people always think my favorite color is red because I decorate with so much red in our cabin. But actually my favorite color is green. But I'm so drawn to red things. You know, our little red radio in the kitchen. We've got our red buffalo plaid chairs. There's so many pops of red. My red vintage skis. I collect red lanterns. So many things throughout the house are in reds. But red's not my favorite color, but I sure love it. And I love this little camera. This was so many great finds this month. Love that. So as I go through the shop, I'm just kind of scanning, just in pure relaxation and enjoyment. I try not to do it if I only have a few minutes. I try to do it when I might have half an hour to just walk around and look at things. And sometimes I buy nothing. Sometimes I don't even have it in my budget to really do that, but I just love looking. It's relaxing for me. And we hear people say that in my own shop. So my own shop, White Arrows Home, that's in Minocqua, Wisconsin, our brick and mortar shop. People come in sometimes and they say they are just coming in to look around because it feels good, it makes them happy, and that makes us happy too. We love our customers and our followers. If you're far away and you can't get to Minocqua, then everything in our entire store is online. So everything that's in the brick and mortar is also online at whitearrowshometheshop.com. So you can go on and shop from anywhere, anytime. The brick and mortar is open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 3, but then you can shop online at night if you're wanting to in your PJs while you're at home. You can ask for things to be shipped. You can choose all those options online. You can leave a note that you're going to come and pick it up when you're up north next time. Some people are only there a couple times a year and we just hold on to it. So there's lots of options for you to take those special things home or give them as gifts. There's so many things that make great gifts in our shop too. We have vintage, new, antique. We have things, a great mix of items, furniture, accessories, lots of books. We have apparel. And speaking of apparel, I got 2 pieces of apparel this month in my thrifting and antiquing. Okay, you already saw. This is the favorite color. This is the favorite color. And when we saw these, my friend was like, you have to get those. And sometimes we go around the shop a few times and you're thinking about it. And we say at White Arrows Home, get it when you see it. Because sometimes I do go home and think about something and then I'll decide. So usually what helps me know in the moment or in the third time around the shop is how much it costs. So if that fits into my budget or not at that time. If it's something that adds to a certain collection or something I've been looking for or something that I've never seen before, so I know I won't see it again. There's just several things that fit into that. And I have never seen these before. So these are wool pants from North Built out of Minneapolis. They're all wool. Look at the buttons. Aren't those the sweetest buttons? So these are pants. They are women's pants, the way that they are shaped. Look at that front pocket. So you better believe that this next winter, you're gonna see Kristen in some green pants. So they go all the way down with that great pocket and buttons. And then the bottom, how fun is that? There is no snow getting in and making me wet and cold with these pants on. So I cannot wait to style these up. And yeah, these will be great for a Christmas outfit, but they'll be great all winter long. So I cannot wait to put these pants on. And I also found this jacket that I can't wait to style up too. So this one's a little bit more worn. It has a couple spots that I'm gonna try to sun bleach out of them this summer. Lay it in the sunshine and see what I can get off. But look at these great sleeves. And down the front, it's kind of like Greatest Showman meets Kristen. So how I can style this up with so many things. I love wearing blacks, like it would work over this little sweater I have on. I love plaids, it would work great over plaids. I love denims, it would work great over denims. So there's so many things to layer this up with. This cutie jacket. So there are a couple little holes in it to fix. So it's been around the block a little bit, but not so much that it can't be loved and reused. That's one of the things in our shop that we call our clothing line. We bring in some new apparel, a lot of new sweatshirts and favorite types of clothing, but our favorite is our restored clothing line, we call it. So we find items that we love to wear ourselves. Like I said, there's lots of plaid things, there's great dresses, things for men, women, children, that are favorite brands that still deserve more times around for making memories with people. So we have a lot of restored clothing that we bring into the shop as well. Now, I've mentioned that I am going to be a grandma, and so my eyes now always go to things for kids too, more than they have in a long time, as my kids have all grown up. And I found a couple golden books that I thought would be super sweet for my grandkids. So I've got baby animals, and I've got the little golden book of hymns. So I was just so touched by these, and I know that it will continue because golden books are something we often run into when we're thrifting and out on the hunt. So started the collection for my littles with these two sweet ones. You know, when I'm picking golden books, it has a lot to do with one maybe I loved as a kid, or one that I love for the photos on the inside. I mean, how sweet is that? Or ones that really have a message and meaning in them. This little hymns one has the songs in it. Each page is a different song. So it's just so sweet in such a way. Like I said, I love to read aloud. So this is a great way for me to get to read aloud with my littles. And I found another one as well. We all love Beatrix Potter, and this one, The Tale of Jemima Puddle Duck, is a favorite. So picked up that one too that I didn't have in my collection for right now. So fun items to keep looking for. Okay, this was an item, and a lot of times what happens when we're out with our friends, right? When I'm out with my friends, we all like a lot of the same things. So we'll be out and about, and one of us will find something, and then maybe we hesitate and we're not sure, and somebody else is like, I love that. Oh, that's so cute. And then we say, well, you can take it because I'm not sure. And then we do the, no, you take it. No, you take it. You take it. So we do that back and forth a few times. And then it ends up saying, no, really, I am not going to get it, but I would love for you to have it. So that's what happened with this one. My friend found it first. She was thinking about it, and then she's like, no. I think I'd make my own first. And I'm like, are you sure? Because if you're not going to get it, then I'm going to get it. And it really works well. Good friends can handle this kind of stuff. And sometimes we end up giving it to the other person later anyways. But this little tea koozie, or tea cozy. So this goes right over your teapot. And I had a sweet little one that I had gotten as a wedding gift, and I don't know if I ended up giving it away at some point, but I don't have it anymore. I still have my teapot, my beautiful, beautiful teapot, but I don't have the tea cozy anymore. And I loved the needlepoint on this. I'm in love with needlepoint. My grandmother needlepointed, my mom's mom. So we have some chairs and different things that she did. And so it just is always very heartwarming to me. I have some of her linens that she stitched on. And so I was super excited about this and getting to use this sweet piece. So loved that. So a fun find. Okay. Speaking of that little grandson I have coming, we're gonna have a baby shower coming up. So if my daughter's watching, then this won't be a surprise anymore. But if she's not watching, it still will. Because I found this little blue pot. So there are so many sweet baby pots to find when you're out thrifting. So they are such a cute way to add something in for a shower, or just a little welcome gift. So to put a plant in there, and my daughter's a total plant girl. So to have this at the shower, and then she can put it on in my grandson's room, or use it somehow as a little memento. But I thought the little blue baby shoe was just the sweetest thing. So was excited to add that to what I was picking up this month. And the last thing I found is something that I've kind of looked at for a little while. It comes in some different colors. I never had a for sure pattern that I wanted. I usually thought it would be the green one. I have a good friend that has this set as well, but one of my favorite things to collect are dishes. I love mixing and matching them. I love pulling them out at different meals or lunches. I love eating my own meals on small plates. It's part of the way I can help regulate what I'm eating and make it feel special to sit down with my meal on a beautiful plate and just linger over it and not rush through it standing up as I'm running from thing to thing. So you may have seen this pattern before, but when I saw the price on it for what I was getting, I'm like, I can't pass this one up this time. I've passed it up many times because I know I have several dish sets, but when it was at the price it was, I know in my budget that's what it fit for right now, and that it would be super fun to have. So many of you may have this Vernon ware from California. So it is organdy, and often, like I said, the green and gold, it's more of a yellow than this gold, is what I have had my eyes on. But I really liked this one. I think I will love entertaining with these colors. These work great here at the cabin. They'll work great in the fall, especially, but they are ones that I would use year round. And like I said, I love to mix and match dishes. I have brown and white transferware, and so to mix that in, anything that's plaids just has my heart. I love plaid. And so these are kind of that plaid that just can blend in with anything. So I got several of the salad plates, salt and pepper shakers. They're all still wrapped up in bubble wrap. So let's see if I can get another little piece out to show you. But it's not a complete set, but it's enough. And sometimes I like that almost better. I don't really need everything because, like I said, I'm gonna mix and match it. So it's got the little salt and pepper shakers. So if I mix in my transferware with just a little pop of the plaid, add out these salt and pepper shakers, then it just sets a beautiful little table. I love to have friends over for lunch. I love to entertain with just a little charcuterie when people come over for games. And then I can just use simple little plates. So another wonderful find. So keeping my eyes open all the time for things that can just add a layer of story into my home. Another thing to know if you love vintage finds is that you can join my Facebook group. So my Call Me Old Fashioned Facebook group. It's free to join, and then you can come on and share your own vintage finds with me and all the wonderful people that are part of that group. So reach out if you'd like to join. There's just a few questions you answer and then I let you in. So I hope that you can join me there and that you'll be back here for another episode soon. See you later.